Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks and another episode of Building Gotham City. And there's going to be quite a few changes to how we're going about doing the Gotham City. Originally, this building here, Ace Chemicals, was going to be hard up against the wall, so it would have been around 90 degrees, and then the city's going to be coming out this way. And obviously, we need to finish building Jabba's Palace before we can actually get the full city laid out how we want it to be. So we're just working on this small section just over here at the moment. So originally we were going to have Ace Chemicals, then we were going to have the docks, and then we're going to have a raised platform which is going to have like tall buildings on top of it just there. Now what I'm considering doing is actually still going to be rotating, but I'm actually thinking about putting Arkham Asylum. So Arkham Asylum be up against the wall there. So the idea is I'm going to use these 4 base plates for Arkham Island. The road out of Arkham Island will be going sort of like off the back there. So when you're actually in the Lego room here, it's going to be facing that way. So when you're stood over that side, which is going to be sort of like the primal viewing area, you're going to be able to see the front of Arkham Island. Then this here, so the island's going to be on these 4 here. I'm going to put some rock work along the very back there, because you know how much I love rock work. And it's going to come around here like so, and then go back in and then down along there and then join on to the end of the pier. On that dark blue-grey base plate at the back there, I'm considering putting a swamp. So I know the swamp that was in Gotham is on like the sort of miles outside of Gotham City, but I'm just trying to add little Easter eggs in there. So, and because it's Lego and it's our city, we're not following any specific film or TV series exactly. We can do what we like, where we like. So that's what I'm considering doing at this moment in time. And leading from the swamp, there'd be like a sewage pipe which leads out into the water, and then there'd be more of a sort of like a spillage going on in there. So there'd be chemicals being pumped out of the sort of like chemical plant, and they'll be just spilling off into the swamp area. So that's the plan at the moment. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be concentrating on Arkham Island this week. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull those 4 base plates off in a minute, and I'll show you a little bit more about what the plans are with Arkham. And again, this Arkham Asylum is purely my creation, so I'm not following any sort of like literature or anything like that. I've looked online for a few inspirations. There's a couple of really good mocks out there, like the one from the Brick Den, for example. Got some good ideas off of his mock. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you some sketches that I've come up with for Arkham Asylum, and then we'll show you what the plans are. So here's a quick sketch of how it's going to be looking at the moment. So as I mentioned, you've got your Ace Chemicals and then the Arkham Island there. So we can start the rock work and go all the way around here. And this is, I'm considering putting some more warehouses under the raised platform. So there's going to be towers all up the top here. So I think it's going to look quite good once it's all done. And just laying the base plates out as I have done at the moment, I think is certainly starting to show that the layout size-wise is going to be quite good. And here we have another drawing of what we're going to be doing. So we're going to have like a bridge coming in, then it's going to lead to the island. Now, the rock work on the island is going to be relatively high, because we want to put a lot of details which are looking like they're underground within the rock work. So like we're going to have a like miniature bat cave area where Batman keeps sort of like a few extra sort of spare bits should he get sort of like separated from the main bat cave. Then there's going to be sewer pipes running within this area, and a section for Killer Croc to be kept. Now I don't own a Killer Croc. Prices of them are ridiculous at the moment, so I'm going to hope that they bring one out over the sort of like course of making the mock series. Then down here we're going to be having sort of like the cells for the more dangerous people like Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and all the top criminals basically. Now if we turn our attention back to these 2 buildings here, obviously we've got this building here which was going to be the GCPD. Now the GCPD, as I said in the original first episode, I wanted it to be based off of the Gotham TV series. I really like the style of that police station. When we started making it a square, we didn't think it was interesting enough, so we scrapped it and we went for this one here, which has obviously got the angle on there. Now, I've changed my mind and I want to go back to having a rectangular building. So I'm going to be scrapping this as a GCPD, and I'm going to make this building here the Gotham Globe. So this is the newspaper headquarters, so to speak. So it's not going to be wasted building. And again, I'm considering changing the shape of it once more. So where we've got the angle on that side, I'm going to repeat the angle that way as well. So if I just show you inside here, we've got the wedge plates there, they're going to be going that way as well. So I think they'll give it a little bit more angle as well, and just bring a little bit more character to it. So that's just something, again, I'm only considering at the moment, but I'm like 95% sure that that's what we're going to be doing with that. With our Arkham Asylum, we're wishing to make it as modular as possible. So it's going to be on 4 base plates. So each one of these 6x6 plates is in effect representing 48x48 base plate. And where you can see these grey bricks around the edge here, they're going to be rock work, which is going to be permanently fixed in place to the base plate. Now on this side here, and this one here, we're going to be putting some snot bricks of some description. And then I'm going to be making rock work in big chunks which can cover the entire edge. So in here is where you'll see like the Batcave satellite area. Down here be like Killer Croc, and then in here will be some of the cells. Now these rock sections that we're going to make up will then clip onto the snot bricks on each of the sides here. So when you're looking at the MOC, when it's all fully assembled, you won't be able to see in obviously the lower section, and it will just look like one seamless rock section around there. You can then look down and you'll still be able to see like inside the Batcave, inside Killer Croc, inside the cells from above as well. And then we'll do the modular system where we'll put another floor with all different rooms, etc. again in there. And again, the same on the next floor up, and going depending on how many floors. But the good thing is with doing it this way is if I don't want to remove the floors but I want to show somebody inside, I can just peel the rock section off. So it'd be really easy, accessible to film things, but also to show people what's happening inside there. So that's the plan of what we're going to be doing. Now what we've got to do is put it into action on the actual base plate. So let's get started. And that's the black plates all tiled off with the trans blue. Obviously we still need black plate to go down here. And what I will do eventually one day is sort of like change the water so it looks a little bit more realistic, because it's way too smooth. So we're making some sort of like waves and obviously crashing up against the rock work. But that's for much further down the line. Main thing now is let's make a start on the layout inside of the Arkham Asylum, and then we know where we can start building the rock work up accordingly. So we're just going to do a little bit of a mapping out session now on the base plates. And here we have the provisional layout for the base of Arkham Asylum. So here is where we're going to be keeping Killer Croc, if we get one. These are going to be sewer pipes, and that's going to lead out and in from there. So that would be where Batman could come in should he need to do so. And that's where his little bat room is going to be, down the end there with his computers, weapons, change of suit, all things like that. Over on the far side there is going to be where the cells are kept, the ones that are kept below ground. So at the moment I'm showing 2 cells there. However, I'm either going to bring it over a little bit further and put some stairs up there, or we're just going to do away with the 2 cells on there. The rock work here is going to be the section which is going to be removable, so you can actually see into those 2 sections just there. And we're going to do the same along here, probably from about there to there. So you can actually see into the sewer tunnels and also into that Batcave section. So what we're going to do now is we want to mills plate inside this area here, and also put some wedge plates over the top of these tiles here, ready for the rock work to be built up. And the rock work's going to come out quite high on here, I think, because we want to put a lot of details in on this section. And also with the sewer pipes, I want to make those so they're made of brick but they're curved. So I've got to try and work out whether or not I can do that. I've seen some techniques using plates but not using the bricks, so it's going to be quite interesting to see if we can work something out on that side. So let's get experimenting, let's get building, and we'll check back in once we've made some progress. And there we have the base of Arkham Asylum, all mills plated. The lovely multicoloured plates are out again. All we've left is the areas where we're going to be having the sewer pipes. We want those to be a little bit lower than the rest of it, hence there's no mills plate on that section there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work around the edges here and just finish that bit off. So we're going to put the wedge plates around the edges on here, ready for the rock work to be started. So let's do that bit next. And there we have all the wedge plates on top of the trans blue. So it's a little bit rectangular at the moment, so I may try and change a few bits of that further down the line, so I'll make it go in and out a little bit more. But it's a good base to start from, and it's something I can easily amend a little bit later on. But what I want to do next is work on the sewer tunnels, and we're going to see if we can prototype some sort of like curved wall to go in there. And here we have our prototype for the tunnel wall. So it's not massively curved, but there's a little bit of a curve on there, and I think it'll look good enough for the Arkham Asylum sewer systems. So there's going to be a bracket on the bottom there, or a hinge on the bottom. The water will be sort of like down here, so we'll have, what we're planning on doing is one brown plate and then some the black trans tiles, I think it is, or trans brown, along there. So I need to find a bulk load of those on the cheap. I think they're about 7 cents each or 7 pence each on lego.com. And the amount I need means it's going to be about 28 euros worth of trans tiles just to do some sewer tunnels, which you're barely going to see. So yeah, we just need to find a cheaper option for that. With these here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the light bluish grey masonry bricks where the green bricks are, and then where you see the dark bluish grey, that's going to be all light bluish grey as well. So they'll go all the way along there. And then on the top here, this should work out that a plate will be able to sit on the top and cover sort of like all of the work below it, so to speak. So what we're going to do, we're going to knock up that in the correct colours and the length we need, and we're going to do on one section of the mock, see how it looks, and we'll show you what it looks like. And there is our first section of wall done for the sewer tunnel. And relatively pleased with how it's come out. We need to work out what we're going to do on the ends to sort of like cover off these sort of like bits so it doesn't look like it does at the moment. Basically, I want it so it's nice and sort of like smooth, even when it's although you're not going to see this section because it'll be connected up to another one. I do still want to put something over the edges of it to make it look tidier for even when it's pulled apart. On this side here, we're just going to have, this is where the rock's going to be sort of like stuck on using a snot technique. So again, what I need to do on this section here is just put some masonry bricks on the inside of it, so you're not going to see the curve on there. The only time you're really going to see this curve is when you pull away the rock section on there. But yeah, really pleased with how that's come out. So now we know that it does work and it's going to look okay. Just got to work out how we're going to do this end bit and replace these plates here. So let's carry on building that and do the tunnels for the rest of the mock. And we've made some amendments to the sewer here. So the walls are all exactly the same, but what we've done is we put this section in here. So we're using the macaroni pieces with the quarter tiles on there. And the 8x8 plate will actually be replaced eventually by these. They're a 4x4, but they've got a quarter circle cut out of them. So they're the same shape as the tile on the front there. So that will enable me to get that all looking nice without there being any gaps up in the top corner there. So we need to order a load of those in. So I'm going to calculate how many we actually need to do the entire sewer system down here. And then we'll be able to just swap them over towards the end. What we're going to do now is we're going to build up this entire section here. Wherever there's not going to be a room, we're going to sort of like fill it in, make it all up to the sort of like the same height as here. We're going to put the walls in for the back cave, and then we'll be all ready to do the rock work on this particular section. And just thought we'd check in to show you a progress update. So this is the sort of like hidden back cave area under Arkham Asylum. So in that section just at the end there, that's where we're going to keep a bat suit. Probably on these walls here, we'll have it so some weapons can be put on. So we just need to add some clips in there. And on this wall here, we'll put some computer terminals. And I think I'm going to go for a grilled effect on the floor there. Obviously, we built this back section up here using the art plates. And the reason for that is it saves a lot of bricks. So with these, you only need to put sort of like half a dozen pillars underneath it. We have mills plated underneath the whole sections, as you can see earlier on in the video, and that's purely to strengthen up the base plate. If I was just to put the pillars straight on the base plate and then this, I can guarantee you that at some stage something will give way, so whilst moving it around. So at least this way I know it's nice and sturdy. All we need to do is bring it up to the required level, so I think it needs to come up by one more brick to get level with here, and then we'll plate off the entire area around here. We won't be plating off on this section, so it'll just literally be this back section here, and then we'll put some tiles over the top ready for the next floor to sit on there. But yeah, pleased with how that section's come out. What we can do now, we'll move that back over to the table where the city's on, and we'll bring the next section over and start doing some work on that. This is the section where Killer Croc would be kept. Now, we haven't got enough pieces to make several of these. We've ordered some in from lego.com. So what I've done, I've borrowed this one off of the first section that we made. And what we'll do, we'll just pop that in there for the time being, and we can build all the way around it and then replace it at a later stage. So what we can do, we carry on building this up, and once we make some progress on here, we'll check back in and show you what it looks like. And we're considering changing the sewer pipes. Originally we were going to be plating on the bottom here, tiling over the top of it using the trans tiles, and then it leads up to the sewage pipes. However, what I'm wondering about doing is actually raising the plate up by one brick. Then that way I can actually put a tile over the top of that, and it actually looks like it's going through the actual sewage pipe bit there. So I think that might actually look a little bit better than just leaving it as it is at the moment. The one thing is I would have to amend the back cave part of it. However, how little I've done there, all I would need to do is just raise the room up a little bit, because obviously you don't want the water coming into that room on there. But apart from that, there's very little amendments that would actually need to take place. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of like build this one with the water level raised up, build all the walls around and see how it looks. And it's decision time here at the mock. So originally I was going to be having it so you could take the rock face off on this end. You're obviously going to be able to see down into the area where Killer Croc would be. And I was going to have the sewage pipes all the way along. However, when you look down, if you imagine, that's all that you're going to be able to see in there. And you can't actually see any curvature on the walls at all with there. So basically I think it's a complete waste of all of the bricks, the parts that we're using in here, to put a sewer system in that we're not actually going to be able to see. I'm going to keep the one outside of the bathroom area because the rock face is going to be coming off here, so you'll be able to see in there. So I think that one's important. But I'm going to do away with this one just here. I may keep a very small section of it just here in case you can see through a little bit, just so you can see the illusion of there. And then I'll put some black bricks to stop you seeing anything further down there. But I think where you're not actually going to be seeing it, because it's not like a play feature on a model. I mean, obviously none of this mock is for playing with, it's just purely for display. I don't see the point in having all of the features in there. It's not like you need to send minifigures down into the sewer pipes at any stage or anything like that. So I'm going to scrap that bit. As I said, probably just do it 4 studs back, then put a black brick wall there. And again, on this section here, I'm probably not going to have a removable rock bit on that part either. I'll just do it in front of the actual main prison cells. And again, the reason being, I don't know if we're actually going to get Killer Croc to go into there, and it's not exactly an exciting room anyway, so I think just seeing it from above will be more than adequate. So we're going to scrap this bit here, re-Mills plate this up, and make the necessary changes to the mock. And here we have the Killer Croc rooms. We put the walls on there. We're going to put a lot more details in on the walls. So I've put a couple of dark bluish grey parts down there and a cylinder as well, just down the bottom there, just to give it a bit of detail. And I'm going to put a lot more variety in there to make it look a lot more weathered and things like that. But at the moment, I just want to make sure that I've got the right size, right shape, and it all works basically. And that's another reason why the gaps are here. There's going to be some arches behind the plates that will eventually go here. So I'm going to attach the bricks to those. So all those details we can add in later on. So there's no problem on that side. We did find some more black plates. We finished off the water area around this part of the island. And again, in a future sort of like time, we will amend the water so it's not all smooth. So there's like waves and different colours under the water and things like that. But I just wanted to make it so it looks tidy at this moment in time. And just to give me an idea of the visions coming on, how I want it to be with this mock. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to build up this section at the end of the Killer Croc area, get that up to roughly about the same height as that, and then once we've done so, we'll bring the next plate over. And here we are onto the third base plate. Now originally we were going to be having the sewer going all the way down here, and that led to Killer Croc. Now obviously we're not doing it so you can see the sewer pipe anywhere than from a certain end. And with this one, the only way you're going to be able to see it is by looking through the grate on the sewer pipe entrance and exit here. There is going to be a sewer pipe entrance and exit there, which leads to the back cave. So what we will do here is put some of the curved rock work effect that we've been doing along this part here. And we'll then sort of like stop probably about 3 or 4 studs on there, put it on that side as well, and then put a black brick down the end to stop it. On this side, we're just going to obviously build all of that up, sort of like stack up the same as we have done on all the other parts of it. And if we've got any more of the black plate, we'll start doing a little bit more of the water detail. So let's get back to the building and see how much more we can get done. And we're just checking in one final time for this update. So we've brought all the base plates back over onto the main table here. We managed to get a bit more of the waterwork done, but we have run out of black plates. We just need that little section there below the Arkham set at the moment. Did raise these up by 1 brick higher, so that's a lot better now, and we've gone as far as we can with the parts that we've got available at the moment. So we need to get some more hinges to do a little bit more of that sort of effect with the tunnels, and we need to find out our white brick because I want to make the sails on the bottom here in white. And once I've worked out exactly the layout of this, then I'm going to start changing the rock work around this edge here. I would like it so it comes in and out a little bit so it doesn't look so rectangular as it does at the moment. I will be able to sort of like do a lot with the actual rock work to make it look less sort of rectangular, but it'd be nice just to have that corner cut off, I think, on there. So yeah, really pleased with how it's all coming on. When we do move the whole of this Gotham City onto its permanent table, there is going to be a gap between Ace Chemicals and Arkham Asylum of one 32 by 32 base plate, which go down there, which will be all water, with the exception of a thin bit of rock work that goes along here and then juts back like so. And then that's the area where we're going to put a little bit of a swampy area with a pipe coming out of the back of Ace Chemicals, spilling out into that. And then under the rock work is where it will leak out into the sea. But yeah, really pleased with how this is all coming on. It's been great fun starting Arkham Asylum at long last. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And please share it with your family and friends. Anyway, thanks for popping by. See you next time. Bye for now.